Hi guys, my name is Avery Nelson and I'm currently a sophomore here at the University of Denver. I was fortunate enough this past summer to be part of the International Service Learning Bosnia Moving Forward program. Basically, what I'm going to do now is show you guys some pictures I took while I was there and talk to you a little bit about certain views that some Bosnians have about the outdoors there in the mountains and hills surrounding Sarajevo and why they think that way. So just hang tight and get ready to see some pretty beautiful landscape and listen to me talk for a couple minutes. Through my internship with the ecotourism company Green Visions, I was actually able to spend a lot of time in the mountains and learn a little bit about the role they play in the lives of many local citizens as well as many of the tourists that come through the area. The history of the Balkans stretches hundreds of years into the past, which is part of the reason why the area is so special. The only downside to that is that a lot of that history, at least within the past century, has been spotted with wars and battles and those sorts of struggles that have caused the death of many of those citizens. I spent most of my time outdoors in the Bjelesnica mountain area, which covers a large section of land about an hour southwest of Sarajevo. These mountains are spotted with villages that were burned down during either World War II or the war that stretched from 1992 through 1995 in par with the breakup of Yugoslavia. Green Visions offers hikes into the hills surrounding Sarajevo, but because those hills acted as such a base for Serbian forces during the siege of Sarajevo from 1992 to 1995, it is hard for a lot of people to see those hills as the beautiful natural landscape that they really are. During my time in Sarajevo, I spoke with many people who have opinions similar to this. They would speak about how they and their families would take Sunday picnics in the hills or go walking together with friends, but unfortunately now these hills represent something that caged them in from April 5th, 1992 until February 6th, 1996. That's a total of 1,425 days. The army of Republika Srpska surrounded the city of Sarajevo and would not let food or supplies in or out of the city, and basically just let the people in Sarajevo fend for themselves. One person that I worked with, who is a mountain and culture guide for Green Visions, remembers running through the streets of the city and being shot at from multiple snipers who are shooting down from them from up in those hills that surround Sarajevo. I can't really pretend to know what that feels like, but it must be difficult to still be living in that same city where you were trapped for over 3 years and would have to fear for your life every time you stepped outside your house, even if you were a small child, which he was at the time. Because of these kind of things, the mountains surrounding the city, as well as the mountains all over the country, have lost their value and are a reminder of an especially dark part of a lot of people's lives. At the beginning of my time in Bosnia, it was sort of hard to understand that deep connection that the Bosnian people have to this past of theirs, but over time and through many wonderful conversations, I was able to gain a little bit more of an understanding. Having to live and work and survive in a place where many people felt so much pain is sort of a foreign idea to me. My upbringing in rural Minnesota didn't really force me to deal with any of these sorts of issues, but it was a great learning process and eye-opening experience for me to be around people who went through and are going through these kind of things in Sarajevo and Greater Bosnia. Green Visions, the company that I interned with for the summer, is working partly to promote these outdoor areas and remind people that along with remembering the unfortunate past, they can also appreciate the beautiful natural resource that Bosnia holds. I enjoy hiking and have hiked many places in the United States and South America, but some of the views that I had in Bosnia were absolutely incredible and unlike anything I've ever seen before. I think that over time, and with the help of organizations like Green Visions, people will start to spend a few more of those Sundays in the mountains and have a few more picnics in the hills and walks with their friends. Even though those painful memories will still be there, I think over time and with the help of companies like this, it'll get better. So lastly, if you are ever over in Europe and want to see some of the most beautiful, virtually untouched nature you've ever seen before, I recommend you pop down to Bosnia and take advantage of the beautiful sights it has to offer. Thanks so much for listening. Ciao.